So the NFF appears to have put themselves in a big mess right now at the hands of FIFA, with what is going on right now. The trend actually started with FIFA uploading a picture of a said finished project that they, FIFA, empowered the NFF. I think it was in 2023 with the amount of $1.2 million to build a mini standard sports stadium for Nigerian youths, to aid in sports development and and things like that in the country. But guess what? The NFF mismanaged that fund. It's very obvious. I don't want to say that. I don't want to just start to accuse them without further information coming out. But it's very clear from the picture of the stadium, which FIFA themselves were very shocked. They had to upload it on their, I think, on their Twitter to display it for the world to see how shameful it is that the NFF would claim that they spent 1.2 million US dollars to build such a substandard stadium like that. You know, Around that the same period as well, FIFA also empowered Kenya with the same amount, $1.2 million, to build similar kind of stadium in their own country. And just take a look at the Kenyan version, Kenyan uh, almost finished project. It's not even finished yet. Kenya's zone is not finished, but take a look at how beautiful it is. It has it has an entrance, it has all of these uh, uh, designs of a proper stadium, and they are not done yet. They are still constructing it. They are getting into the final parts of it, so it's going to look even more beautiful as soon as they are done. But look at Nigeria zone, the way it's looking like this, it is done according to NFF. It is done like this. There's nothing to be added again. The money is finished, the project is done, and they shamelessly submitted this picture to FIFA that they have, done what the money is capable of doing. This is very disgraceful. This is very shameful. Again, I don't know how many times we've talked about NFF's corruption. It's not only with this current regime. It's kind of like a culture that has started from the previous regimes. They pass it on to the next one, and then it continues like that. They give you money. FIFA gives money for them to build a stadium in Nigeria for young people, and they embezzle this money. They squander this money. If you look at this picture, it doesn't look like they spent up to $200,000 on this stadium. That's the fact. It does not look like they spent 200,000 on this stadium. So what we are just seeing here is just the turf. That's probably AstroTurf. That is it. Then goalpost and net. What else? They called the tractor to level the ground, clear the bushes and the trees. I think that's just the only thing that they did there. Because, I mean, there's nothing else that we can see from this picture to show that these people, really infuse this amount of money inside of this project. But shamelessly, they submitted this that they have completed the project. And this has, brought about the series of fundings that FIFA and CAF have given to the NFF over the last couple of years. It said that since 2013, the NFF has received up to 25 million US dollars, from FIFA and CAF for them to develop football, in Nigeria for the youth in terms of building stadiums and all of that in scouting, kits, provisions, etc., etc. And if you decide to pause for a second to even think of what they have done with this 25 million US dollars since 2013 up to date, you cannot see any tangible thing that you can say that, yes, this is what they have done with this money, for football in Nigeria. We cannot talk about stadiums in Nigeria. Abuja Stadium is nothing to write home about. Maintenance is lacking. They're even using it for crusade and all of those things. We cannot talk about the Lagos Stadium. The same story. The only stadium that we have that is manageable is the Uyo Stadium, which is why every time we have a home game, they always go to that Uyo stadium to use that stadium to play all home games. But it's just so sad what's happening in our country. The decay in the leadership, the corruption, the mismanagement. The politics that's going there is just so sad, so crazy. And again, this is the genesis of the problem that we have with the Super Eagles. This is why we are not performing. This is why football is dying in the country, you know. And this same leadership, this same NFF will come out and pretend to us Nigerians that they are actually doing all the work, that they are actually supporting football in Nigeria, that they are actually, trying to, that they're actually putting one or two plans here and there to develop grassroots football, catch them young at age 14. What the NFF was saying a few days ago. They want to scrape open screening, they want to start from schools, they want to do this, they want to do that. They come out and just talk talk about all these things, things that people want to hear, but they themselves are the real problem. They are the genesis of our problems because money that was given to them to spend on this project, they are eating this money, they are sharing it amongst themselves, and then they will use peanuts from this money to put into the projects, and then it will amount to a substandard structure. That is exactly what is happening. No wonder, you know, ex internationals always have bad things or negative things to say about the NFF. Mikel Obi has been crying out, every time he talks about NFF, he talks about corruption. Sunday Lucy every single time talks about corruption as well. We can't begin to mention the Taribo West, and all of these guys, even Austin J. Okocha, all of these guys have complaints about NFF and the corruption, that is embedded in the federation. But I don't even know what else to say. This is so painful because it's so painful. It's the youth who are missing out on all these opportunities that FIFA and CAF are trying to bring to Nigerian grassroots. But I'm sure FIFA are going to want some accountability. You cannot just submit picture like this and say that yes, I mean we've spent the money. This is the money well spent, and tell us congratulations for building a structure like this. No, FIFA are going to want to demand accountability. You come down, you sit on the table of FIFA, and then you dissect the project, talk about how much you spent on this. And I thank God that FIFA also gave the same amount to Kenya, and they built a much more standard stadium compared to Nigeria. So these two countries, their representatives should have to sit down with FIFA, and then they talk about these things. And from there, I'm sure they are going to catch a lot of people, a lot of corporates. I'm sure when this is done, we are going to see more deaths being thrown in the public. A lot of people will be implicated. A whole lot of NFF officials will be implicated, both current ones and the previous ones, who are no longer on seats. But I'm just going to leave this sad event and talk about something that's actually a good news, and it's the fact that um, Chelle Alozie has made it into the fifth Pro Best 11 shortlist for the women's category. She's actually the only Nigerian in this list, and it's just so good to see her in the list. But I'm actually quite surprised why we don't have the likes of Esther Okoronkwo at least into this list, because she has been very fantastic in the last couple of months. And then you talk about Rashidat Ajibade, Chamaka Nnadozie. These two are also, players that I felt should have made it into the list. But it's just a very, very limited list, just 11 players. So obviously, they had to go on and pick Chelle Alozie. Congrats to her. And we hope that, she wins the award at the end of the day. And then for Chamaka Nnadozie, even though she missed the fifth Pro Best 11 nominees, she has now gone on to win the Best Save of the Month for the October month. In the women's English Premier League side, her save against Tottenham Hotspur was nominated the best save for the month of October. So, congrats to her, and of course we expect to see her, win more awards and more accolades as well in the EPL. And then to wrap up, guys, it seems like Coach Eric Shaw might be having himself a very, very quality right back in the person of Michael Kayode right now, because this young man, I'm sure if you're watching the EPL, you've been seeing his performances, in recent weeks. Last week he was the man that won the man of the match in the match between Liverpool and Brentford City. Brentford City actually won that game, 3 goals to 2, I think, final score. But Coyote was the man that really, pulled the strings for Brentford with his long throws, that felt like corner kick, terrorizing the defense line of Liverpool. And they actually scored the first goal, from his long throw. And then it's not just long throw. This guy is a very strong player. He's quick, he's agile, he's young, he's just 21 years old, and he can be a good asset for the Super Eagles in the right back position, especially now that we have Ola Aino struggling with injury and fitness here and there. But why I'm talking about this man is that he's still eligible to play for us because he, although has represented Italy in the age grade category, but he has not been captained to the national team, the Azuri senior team. So he's still up for grabs. And the thing that actually gets me excited is that after that game against Liverpool, he went on and started following the NFF on their official social media. So that means that maybe he's giving Coach Eric Shaw some kind of green light that, hey coach, I'm ready, I'm ready to play for Nigeria. But again, the last time I heard about him, the last time I talked about him, he was obviously favoring the Italy national team. But I mean, a lot of things have happened, between that time and currently. So maybe he has had a rethink and he's probably open to joining the Super Eagles. I'm sure Coach Eric is following everything that's happening, and he said it. We talked about it in the previous video where he mentioned that they might introduce or give debuts to two new foreign players this November. So maybe Michael Kayode gets to be one of those players. Who knows? We'll just wait and see. The list comes out from next week, and then we'll see the people that makes the list.